An emergency meeting of the Senate is set to take place on Monday. This after a marathon sitting which ended after 1 this morning. The upper house is trying to pass the National Identification and Registration Bill. The opposition wanted more time to review the amendments to the legislation, but the idea was rejected. The bill.
A bill entitled An Act to Establish a Body to be called the National Identification and Registration Authority for the promotion, establishment and regulation of a national identification system that facilitates the enrollment and registration of all citizens of Jamaica and individuals who are ordinarily resident in Jamaica.
The arguments for
this legislation before us is here to accomplish those very goals. It is here to remove the anonymity that has plagued so many of our citizens, that has created so many of the social ills or augmented them where they are because of the anonymity that faces us. Man cannot scam if man has an ID that he cannot hide from. All right? That is a fundamental fact. So whereas it is not, in my mind, a crime-fighting strategy, it removes some of the environmental factors that lead to crime.
The arguments against.
I'm not against a national ID. I'm saying, why is it mandatory? Why is it that if I want to just maintain my driver's license? Why is it that if I want just to use my passport? Why is it that if I want just not to participate because I believe in revelations? Why is it that you're now making it that there is no choice? When even to sin or to live, there is a choice.
In fact, the opposition senators were seeking more time to review the amendments to the bill because of concerns like these. They complained about receiving parts of the document late, which didn't give them enough time to prepare.
Someone who has had the opportunity to have been properly briefed on the matter is denying others the opportunity to be properly briefed. That can't work.
We want the best bill we can get under the circumstances. And I only rise to ask you if you would consider that we do go into committee next week.
But leader of government business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, would have none of it.
We can't take another 40 years, another 40 days, another 40 hours, or even 40 minutes. Let us just pass this bill. Let us work through together. It is not unusual to table. It's not unusual to table amendments on a particular day and move them through. And we used to accommodate the opposition in many circumstances.
The Senate will now resolve itself into a committee of the whole Senate to consider the bill clause by clause.
And with that, the Senate began the review of the legislation. And after over 14 hours, only 19 of the 65 clauses had been dealt with. The meeting ended about 1:15 a.m. Saturday. The upper house will continue its deliberation over the clauses on Monday.